All right, back here at Rocky Knob. This is new boss. And actually I already have a video on this, but the trail has changed. Let me show you. So this section, and this used to be a big bridge, like roller coastery thing with a drop at the end of it. And now it's just a big rock garden. So I figured I'd point that out. I also want to show you some of the kind of extra credit lines that are available. I feel like one might be coming up actually. Last time I did this was like 2 years ago. Actually, yeah, there is one right here. Hold on. Oh! Probably needed more speed, but here comes a drop. Yeah. And I don't know if that's an extra credit line. It looks, maybe it's just like a wall. Anyway, last time I did this, I was so scared. I lost a lot of sleep. Here's another drop. And I had to like psych myself up to even do it. And I made it down. I don't know that I technically fell. I was on the edge. So now, 2 years later, it's comfortable, fun. Here's an extra credit line I was always too scared to do. And I think there's another drop right here. Yeah. Sweet. I remember being really worried. And now it's just a fun, chill time. Well, maybe not chill, but it's got me thinking about my progression and also just kind of the nature of this channel and what it's for. So as I get down to the intersection with I'm gonna see if I can hit everything. But yeah, as I stop here, I want to talk a little bit about this channel, where we're going. So as I continue down this Don't Rock the Boat section, which is gonna have a pretty nasty rock garden like right now. Yeah, it's got me thinking, like, in the past couple years, I've gone from a beginner, my first time ever riding a bike off of a paved surface, through intermediate where I could do greens and blues, maybe a black if the circumstances were right and I skipped some stuff, to where I'm at now, where I think is like kind of low-level advanced, where I'm doing mostly blacks and blues, and I can stretch to a double black if the circumstances are right and maybe skip some features. I'm not an expert. I think an expert would be somebody who thinks of a double black same way I think of a blue as a blue. Like, obviously I can do this. Anyway, on YouTube, you've got a lot of experts doing expert things that are really cool to watch. And I do that. I love watching that stuff. And you got a lot of experts who are teaching beginners. I'm thinking like GMBN. People who are like pro level mountain bikers. Who haven't been bad at the sport for like 20 years, teaching beginners. But I think like I did a poll recently in the community tab, and a lot of people said they wanted to get some like how-to videos from me. And then initially I was like, I'm not an expert, I can't do that. But as I do this ride, I'm realizing like in 2 years I went from somebody who lost sleep over this trail to somebody who can do it and have fun. Like, I want to share that. I still make mistakes all the time, and so it's not like this, you know, pro person who can't remember what it's like to be a beginner teaching beginners. So you let me know in the comments, like, I'm thinking doing some cornering, doing some jumps, not that I'm great at jumps, doing some drops, kind of what stuff do you want to see in a how-to video? In general, there's not a lot of space in the mountain bike community dedicated to beginner and intermediate, especially intermediate riders. Like, when I think about group rides, like, I'd love to go on a group ride, but all the ones I'd want to go to are like for women only. All the ones that are like, come as you are, wear jeans, like, we're just here to have a good time kind of thing. It's like, I feel like the women have it right. Whenever there's a group ride outside of that context, it's like, hey, we're gonna meet, climb like 3,000 vertical, go down Farlow Gap, couple river crossings, make it back. And it's like, who can do that? Except for really fit, expert level, or at least advanced level riders. Like, I imagine a group ride for beginners, group ride for intermediates, and like, that's the kind of thing I do. You let me know what you think. I just find, like, people say online sometimes, like, mountain biking community is so nice and inclusive, and I'm like, to whom? I found that there's more gatekeeping than I ever would have expected. Oh, new stuff. For example, when I published the last video on New Boss, so many comments were like, you got no business being on this trail, like, stick to the greens, stick to the blues, you're gonna get yourself killed. And it's like, look at me now, baby. Not that I'm as good as anybody else, but like, I feel like if you just stick to the greens, how are you gonna progress? So I wanted to throw myself in the deep end, see if I could swim. I knew I'd get hurt, and I did, and it was fine. But to me, this was the fastest way to progress. And it seemed like there were a lot of people online who seemed to at least posture like they were really good. They were like, get off my trails. You don't belong here. And I think it's instructive that COVID happened. Everybody got into mountain biking and it's died off. there hasn't been a lot of retention. And I think that's related to this gatekeeping mentality of like, don't film the trails, people will find out where they are. And it's like, yeah, and they're really fun. And I wish I knew about them earlier. Anyway, I'm here to like spread the joy of mountain biking that I didn't find until I was 38, 37, I think. Because it's awesome, but also it's extreme and it's scary, and let's talk about that too. Like, I feel like people should get more credit for showing up to this really difficult, kind of terrifying sport. Like, there's been fatalities on this mountain recently, and I think it takes a lot of courage for people to even want to try this. And so if they're met with, stick to the greens, you don't belong, they'll probably stick to not mountain biking. And that's not what I want. I want to see the sport grow. Anyway, that's my soapbox, but just want to do a little redemption ride, a little reflection on what the past 2 years of this channel has been like, where we're going, and what kind of community I want to foster. Appropriately, I'm going to finish this off with a big drop that now I do this every time I come here. And when I took a lesson on drops, I was too scared to even attempt. Woo! So if I can do this as a giant, almost 40-year-old, well, you can do it. And maybe I can help. So rock and roll. See you guys next time. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Let's get some how-tos going. Cheers.